I think Dunk Train, as our captain, really brings a lot of stability to our team. We can, on occasion, get a little rowdy or kind of lose focus on what we're really trying to be practicing. And Dunk's really the one to be there and bring it all together and make sure that we stay on track.
What can I say about any of you? The strongest thing about King Caffeine is probably his presence on the team. Everyone relies on him constantly, and he just always performs. iDream's biggest strengths are his capitalization on the enemy's mistakes, I think better than anyone else in the scene right now. K1 Pro's strengths are definitely in the realm of mechanical outplay. That's just a really amazing feeling when you're playing as a team, you're positioning for a 5v5 and then suddenly you hear from the flank, hey, I killed someone, and you're like, yes! I think it's really obvious that Fan just brings the better strategic sense, just capitalizing on the map rotations and strategic things rather than the team fighting itself, which is something that we lacked prior to his addition.
그렇게 뭐 걱정은 크게 되지 않고 한국 팀들이 가장 강하다고 생각을 하고 계속 게임을 했었기 때문에 경기 스타일 차이만 잘 보완한다면은 큰 문제 없을 것 같아요. 어차피 뭐 한국이 가장 세다고 생각을 하고 그래서 저희 한국팀 다 이기고 올라와서 저희가 우승할 것 같으니까 즐기다 가시면 될 것 같아요.
The Heroes of the Storm World Championship is brought to you in part by Intel, Windows 10, T-Mobile, and MasterCard.
Hello, friends. It's time to decide the second team in our grand final. And I, for one, am very excited. I think you are too, because I'm ready to introduce your blue team. They're coming from the Americas region. In fact, they are the Americas champion, and we haven't even seen them play yet because they secured their spot so long ago during opening week. It sounds like they might be your favorites. Your blue team is Cloud9. Your red team comes from a long history of pro gaming, and with that comes a lot of confidence. They came into opening week thinking they would not find anyone to stand in their way, but they were wrong. So they've been fighting their way back through this bracket. They are the Korean champions, and they are proud to show you why they deserve to be in the finals. It's Team DK. There has been a lot of talk about who is the favorite to win here. Commentators, I cannot wait what you have to say. Take it away.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the semifinals. This is the Heroes of the Storm World Championship, and I am Babel, joined by Gilly as well as Kubi. How are you guys doing today?
Babel, I am so excited that I get to be here to bring this hype match with you. We're gonna have a lot of fun, and it's a big rivalry. Once again, we have North America squaring off versus Korea.
Absolutely, one of the biggest rivalries between regions that we've developed so far in Heroes of the Storm, all the way back to that PAX Prime just a few months back. And it was the first time we actually saw these regions facing off. Very contested, and I'm looking so much more forward to seeing how this is gonna pan out.
We both know that these two teams we're seeing today are fantastic, accomplished teams in the world. The best in North America as well as the best in Korea. And they have a lot to say. Now, first of all, we do have Cloud9, and I hear they are the crowd favorites. So this is a team that came up a long way, and they also bested Tempo Storm.
They did, and it was a long battle for them to be able to do that. For a long time, it was Tempo Storm who were on top, but they finally were able to start winning when it started with the ESL playoffs and then America's Championship, which was so huge for them. It brought them into having a better seed into this tournament as well, and they've been very dominant so far. Anna mentioned it before. We haven't seen them play since opening week, and even in opening week, they only played 5 games, so a lot of their strategies have yet to be shown in this tournament.
Another interesting thing about that is the fact that these guys are rivals up until we had that Vegas championship. But after that, these guys were training rigorously together to make sure that they could represent the NA region the best. So I have to feel that Cloud9 wants to avenge their Tempo Storm brethren.
Yeah, definitely. And Team DK, they came into this tournament, thinking that they are already winners. Obviously, because coming from the Korean Championship where you have really intense competition, coming into the World Championship with such a mindset, they had a rude awakening. And the way to this semi-final stage, man, Kubi, it has been a really, well, I would say, tremendous experience and also a rude awakening.
Yeah, it has. And, going back to that one time that we have seen these regions up against each other was MVP Black taking a 3-0 over Tempo Storm. So now we have the team that was able to upset MVP Black. A long time considered to be the best in the world, now representing here at BlizzCon for this top 4. No wonder people are saying that they are the favorite team to move forward.
Yeah, and Gilly, remember that time when Tempo Storm, they were in the, I think the winner's bracket, or rather the grand finals, and Cloud9, they took out Team Liquid. This is the same tournament that Kubi mentioned, and they were looking at Tempo Storm, can you guys take out the Koreans? And Tempo Storm unfortunately did not do that, but here, Cloud9, they will have a chance at doing just that.
Yeah, this is it. I mean, we have yet to see North America be able to best a Korean team. MSI-MGA, MVP Black 3-0, I believe, versus Tempo Storm.
Yes.
And then we saw it here, a 2-1 versus Tempo Storm from DK. So this is Cloud9's chance. It's their chance to say, no, NA, they belong up there in the top.
And I hear that it is ready. The big game is going to begin right now as we load up the drum into what looks like Dragonshire. Cloud9 Team DK, the best of both worlds, will clash right here, right now.
Looking at Dragonshire, I was going to say I think that'll be Team DK's pick. They've shown that they really enjoy playing on this battleground. They are known for their rotations in a very rotation-heavy battleground, especially when it comes to those individual rotations. Cloud9 going to start off things with a Tyrael ban.
Not surprised to see this. I was talking to some of the Cloud9 guys in the back, and they said, no, we're just not dealing with Tyrael at any point during the rest of this tournament. We don't want to deal with this hero. He's so strong. I think he has something over a 90% win rate thus far throughout the opening week and the BlizzCon matches. And they said, we're just going to take Tyrael out. We're going to play to our strengths from there, and we're going to see how it goes.
You know what that does leave open, though, is an Abathur. And Cloud9 are notorious for not liking to deal with that type of play style. We'll see if that's something that Team DK chooses to go for. But so far, a Kael'thas ban on the side of Team DK. And Cloud9, of course they're going to first pick Jaina. They've been doing it all tournament.
Yeah, they have been doing this. This is what I was about to say just now. Very consistent with their strategy. They prefer first pick because of this Jaina. Banning out Kael'thas opens up a lot of room here for Team DK to get the Abathur. But we all know Abathur is not so good at Dragonshire.
So glad you brought that up, Babel. And it's really because this is such a skirmish-heavy map. And while Abathur is really good at sort of providing distractions across large battlegrounds like Cursed Hollow and the like, not really so strong on this battleground here. And so we need to look for more rotationally based teams, something that is maybe even strong in the early game to secure those early Dragon Knights, get some pressure moving, and secure the shrines.
Well, we have some good picks so far in that regard coming out from Team DK, Uther and Muradin. So this is going to dissuade some potential pressure from Cloud9, especially when it comes to those melee assassins. But also, just the fact that they're picking these up, this is something they've already shown time and time again, comfort picks for them in this tournament. So it allows them to hide strategies a little bit going into the second set of bans before they start to really show what they want to do here on Dragonshire.
Yeah, definitely. And Dragonshire generally want to win lanes here. Zagara is a favorite. Sylvanas as well.
Oh, yeah.
And here we go. Sylvanas getting a priority in this battleground. It's important to note that she just has so much push potential as a specialist.
Right, yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, that push potential. Those two picks right there for Cloud9 perfectly exemplify that. Having Leoric, perhaps even in that top lane, he's just a very safe hero to put up there just so that the team can say, we want to rotate heavily between the very close mid and bottom lanes of this battleground. Leave Leoric in the top lane, and you have Jaina and Sylvanas to do a heavy push between the lanes. You can even throw all 4 of the other heroes rotating between those 2 lanes to get a very, very effective push.
The nice thing too with Sylvanas is if they are able to pick up the Dragon Knight, having Sylvanas paired on top of the Dragon Knight means that the structures won't be attacking the Dragon. So it requires Team DK to have their heroes come a little bit more forward, and they might be able to catch somebody out of position because of that.
Cloud9 should be looking at a warrior ban here, and it will be Sonya. I actually prefer Arthur's ban because Arthur's would be so important in winning a lane. He is also one of those that can win lanes pretty well, but Sonya will be able to put up a bit of a control in terms of the amount of damage that Team DK will want to do. Now, in terms of the draft so far, Uther as well as Muradin, they provide such a good rotation-centric composition. In the early game, I think Team DK will be looking to rotate between the lanes, and if the rotation proves to be successful, Cloud9 may actually be in a bit of trouble.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuns there. They could definitely chain those up and be able to take out someone. I also like the ban on Johanna from DK2. Already we see, you mentioned the push potential of Cloud9 with Leoric and the Sylvanas. So making sure they don't have Johanna on top of that, that would be a lot of really good solo lane heroes that they could get, keep the minions pushing and keep them off of their own structures.
Okay, so after the second set of bans, Team DK looking to pick up Zagara and Arthas. Arthas very likely will be part of that rotation crew, but Zagara, another safe hero that can be put in that top lane to sort of negate the push that Leoric will be setting forward.
I really like the fact that he picked Zagara and Arthas here. They know that they're not able to win lanes without these heroes, and they also already addressed the Johanna. So here we have Zagara, the best 1v1 in this whole game in terms of the laning phase. As long as she stays safe, she does have those creepy tumor to provide those vision, she should be okay. Arthas has got so much of a good presence.
Yeah, they have a lot of potential to have the rotation now, especially with the Zagara up top. Cloud9 picking up a Rhaegar. That is an interesting choice there for their support.
That's very early, I almost want to say, you know, just because there's nothing really that's jumping out at me from Team DK that says we need burst healing that has to come out. And unless they're predicting something crazy for this last pick from DK, what do you guys think is really prompting this Rhaegar pick?
Well, Rhaegar Ancestral Healing is going to be so good. Basically, they just want to make sure that they counter against Uther's, well, you could say anti-burst in a sense, but Ancestral Healing is very difficult to pull off. And you would not really expect a burst damage from Team DK, more of like a sustained damage. So maybe Rhaegar will be able to heal up in the late game once they heal up a 13 and 16 with Healing Surge and Tidal Wave. That will really help keep the sustain alive.
Yeah, it could be maybe looking at, if they're going to have the solo warrior, then I could see maybe the Rhaegar because he does have that chain heal, and especially once it gets going into the later game. But that's still very scary to have a solo warrior Leoric, not something that we often see. Oh! It's not a solo warrior because there's Rexar.
Okay, I have actually seen Cloud9 running this in the past, and we were sort of theory crafting about which of these heroes would be in the top lane. Leoric is what we were thinking, but Rexar, especially if you grab the level 7 talent that does extra damage to mercenary minions, he is actually very difficult to push off of that top lane. So I fully expect to see Rhaegar completely dominating the top lane and the top shrine. Very difficult to solo in that sense.
Well, definitely you have Rexar as a huge, you could say, contest against Zagara in the top lane. That will be interesting to watch. Maybe once and for all, Zagara may be dethroned as the best 1v1. We'll see. Arthas, Zagara, Muradin, Uther, I'm expecting one more range damage dealer here. Would probably be Reyna or Vala. Vala's very consistent with the Asian meta, so I'd like to see that. Kel'Thas already banned out. Jaina being picked up by Cloud9. I don't think they've got much of an option left, actually.
Yeah, definitely will be the Vala as our final pickup for our Team DK. So we do now have the stage set for Dragonshire. They'll have very consistent damage between Zagara and Vala too, but a lot of potential for ganks between the Arthas, the Muradin, and the Uther.
All right, so we have shown the cards on both sides. The draft is complete. Now what I want to know is which composition do you think has the upper hand, Gilly?
Why me first, Babel?
So we have to go down the line.
Oh, is that how this works? All right, fine, fine. I'll wait.
I really like Team DK's composition, especially with the fact that they have the Devouring Maw. We've seen some really clutch plays happen off of the Devouring Maw. But I'm pumped. I'm super pumped about Rexar. Gotta throw that out there.
So for Cloud9 for Gilly. All right.
Yeah, I'm going to piggyback on that for sure. How can I not be rooting for Rexar in a time like this? First time we've seen him, and I am so excited to see what he's going to be able to bring to such a rotationally based battleground. And we know that Cloud9 is going to be able to pull off these types of technical plays. A very strong mechanical team. I cannot wait for this game one.
All right, so 2 Cloud9 on my side here, very well done. So ladies and gentlemen, do join us on Twitter at Esports Heroes using the hashtag HeroesWC and vote for your favorite team using the hashtag Cloud9 or hashtag DK. Now, Kubi, thank you very much for joining us here. We'll be back with you on the analyst in a little bit after Game 1 is done, but we are loading up right now, and we are going to Dragonshire Cloud9 versus Team DK. And as the map loads up, give it up for the team on the blue side, Cloud9. Duck Train will be the Rengar, Fan onto the Savannah's iDream, as the Rexa, K1 Pro onto the Jaina King Caffeine, as the iconic Leoric. And on the right side, we have the team from Korea, the last hope, Team DK. Crazy moving will be the Vala. Jaehyun onto the Uther, as well as Nobles onto the Murdin, SCSC on his favorite Arthas, and Sniper as the Zagara.
Man, speaking of the Zagara, look at that Void Seeker mount. It is so awesome looking. I really want that, Babel.
I already have that. So it's really awesome. I mean, this comes really well with the pre-purchase of Legacy of the Void. So, I mean, it's one fantastic mount. It completes the collection. If you are a Protoss fan, you should definitely go for that. And here we have a little bit of a nice engagement going down already. Ben a little bit out of position, but the stun will not connect on him. iDream setting up some form of a nice wall in with Misha going for the charge. Will connect, but not enough damage. Seems like the backline was just not in a good position, and they don't want to overextend.
So this is iDream, the flex player for Cloud9, playing Rexar, which of course puts King Caffeine playing his favorite Leoric. He really makes some awesome Leoric plays. I don't know if you remember, but that amazing Entomb stopping the Butcher in the Americas Championship. We're going to be looking for some cool plays from him for sure.
How can anybody forget that?
Right?
Basically blocking out the Butcher's Furnace Blast. So well done. I'm not so sure if it's going to be Entomb in this game, though. What do you think?
Yeah, we'll have to see. March the Black King also makes a lot of plays too, but he generally does play a lot more of the Entomb, so we'll see how that goes. Up at the top, we do have, like Kubi mentioned, the Rexar versus the Zagara, and we'll be looking at the creep spread there from Sniper 2, being able to make sure that no ganks can come in from Cloud9, as she'll be able to spot those out with that vision.
I mean, I would love to see Entomb with Ring of Frost, and oh, hold that thought. Novelist, a little bit of trouble, but we'll be okay. Some stuns coming out. We have Blue Rays, Gilly, Cloud9 looking for the first DK, but already Jaehyun at the bottom shrine picking it up, and it seems like we're going to have a Raid Race instead. Also, Zagara on top will be picking the Sun Shrine. So it seems like the sites is just flipping so quickly. Rotation-wise, very, very nice and even.
Yeah, we have a lot of rotations that happen between the mid and bottom, and we may have an engagement here, but looks like both sides just kind of feeling each other out. There goes a Howling Blast onto Leoric. Won't be able to get a takedown. No First Bloods just yet.
Vala channeling up the DK, but getting cancelled already by Sylvanas' Haunting Wave.
Oh!
And they get the Dragon as Team DK goes in. Duck Train is in a lot of trouble getting rooted as well by the Howling Blast. Will go down. Nobles is also pulling back, dropping very low, and a nice charge back there by Crazy Moving. It seems like it will be Leoric on the bottom side. Rexa top lane against Sniper 1v1. Meanwhile, we see that Span is just trying to put up some form of defense. SCSC pulling back. We have a bit of a heal going down, and DK will be able to pull back safely.
This is why SCSC is known for his Arthas. His Howling Blasts are always insane, and already they're able to get a Dragon Knight so early in the game as well as a takedown. But because it is such an early Dragon Knight, they're not going to be looking for any like super pressure. They're just trying to get as many towers as they can, try to get ahead in terms of experience, so they might be able to pick up level 7 faster, level 10 faster, and then catapult off of that with future Dragon Knights as well.
Wow, they also will stun lock Sylvanas. Sylvanas does go down, and they will finish off the second turret in the mid lane. So that means that both of those towers are already gone, and I consider that a 6.5 out of 10 a victory there for the DK.
Oh, Misha in a lot of trouble, but also is Rexar. Misha goes down, but the big deal would be able to get iDream, and he will fall. Another takedown in favor of DK.
Cloud9 is just not able to react to these rotations coming from Team DK. Very much on point. They do have the upper hand with Arthas as well as Muradin, and also to consider a lock-in with the support Uther coming into position. Now Cloud9 just needs to hold back, play it slow, play it safe. they are not really winning lanes.
Yeah, and they're also down a talent tier. Speaking of talents, we have Jaina who has picked up the Frost Shards build. So we're going to be looking at more of her Frost Bolt build that's going to be able to pierce. So what they'll be looking at is the potential to be able to hit both of the members, the warriors of DK, and then later on, if she chooses to go for Numbing Blast, she's able to hit both of them, root both of them, and then they can disengage from that.
It'll be really good to see how that works out. Also, a possible build on the Frostbolt would be pretty awesome machine gun build, which would do a lot of damage. I think it works out to be about 700 damage every 0.6 second with Icy Veins.
Right.
So that thought, Noble is and gonna go in, but we'll pull back out Caffeine. He's gonna be fine as well. Some Siege Giant throwing those rocks. They need a technological upgrade.
Well, we'll see if they are able to pick that up. We do have an upgrade, at least for Cloud9, as they have level 7 now picked up, but they're still finding themselves behind a level. So both teams doing a really good job of soaking. At this point, they're staying even now. But if it keeps up at this rate, we will have heroic abilities picked up on the side of DK first, and the Dragon Shrines are about to spawn in just 14 seconds.
All right now Team DK 1 level lead. And they also will have the Bruiser Cam attempted already. This is going to help them provide so much pressure on the top lane, which means that the Sun Shrine will be going to the raid team unless something is done to stop that from happening.
Yeah.
And we have Cloud9 at the bottom lane actually going for the Moon Shrine.
Yeah, they're going to hold it for as long as they can, but now they have to really look at what kind of tricky rotations they can get into as they approach a level 10 team when they don't have it, because that is a very good window of time that DK will have to try to pick it up. So the Bruisers are starting to push. You mentioned how much pressure they're going to provide on top. Rexar, though, did pick up the ability that allows him to do more damage to minions and mercenaries with that Spirit Swoop at level 7, so that will help clear those out faster.
We have Jaina defending the mid shrine, so no worries there. Meanwhile, bottom shrine here, we have the rest of Cloud9 picking up the Moon Shrine. Sniper top lane pushing down the lane as much as possible. And it seems like Zagara is pretty dominant even against Rexar.
Yeah, Misha is having a really hard time, especially versus all of her minions too. But Sniper has run out of mana. He picked up that battle momentum at level 7, and that does mean that he is very mana dependent. So it may be somewhere where she's going to get pushed back. Actually, up in top, she gets taken out. A rotation from Jaina comes in, and that's a great move from Cloud9 to try to bring this back.
K1 Pro with the flanks, making good of his word. He is the best flanker that America has ever seen so far. Fan, meanwhile, in some little bit of trouble there. Haunting Wave will keep him safe. And mid lane, again another Dragonite. Now goes the Team DK. They are also level 10, so this means Cloud9 may not be too keen to defend the spot that the Dragonite's pushing.
Heroic abilities picked up are Devouring Maw, Divine Shield, Strafe, Avatar, and Army of the Dead for Arthas. So we're not looking at a super push-heavy Arthas. We are looking more for his ability to sustain through fights as long as possible, be the brunt of the damage that is given out by Cloud9 if possible.
All right, now they can fight. They already hit the level 10. And a nice cancellation on the charge there by Caffeine. We also will see some really interesting talents, Gilly.
Yeah, we have Bestial Wrath picked up for Rexar. 150% bonus damage for Misha when they pick that up. So we'll see how much damage she's able to do when she gets in the back line. She was already going toe for toe with Zagara a few of those fights.
Man, I really like the Entomb, and you're right, it is the Entomb, but it's not a Ring of Frost, it's with Water Elemental and Misha. So you're getting locked in to a cage with a Water Elemental, as well as a really pissed off bear. I don't want to be in that spot.
I don't think any of DK want to be in that spot. They do have some people who, well, actually, they don't really have much of anything. They'll have to rely on their Devouring Maw potentially to be able to get out with just Muradin, who has the Dwarf Toss, to try to get away from that.
Yeah, Team DK still has the level lead, and they're looking to exert even more lane pressure on the mid as well as bottom lane. Top lane Rex are struggling, but rotation-wise from Cloud9 still not there yet. Caffeine with the Rave Walk. We see a bit of a stun onto the Rhaegar. Rhaegar, Ancestral Healing, down trade, saves himself. DK now pulling back, but there is not enough damage on this side. Savannah just barely joined the team, and Jaina's also there. That Caffeine in a bit of trouble, maybe bumping the Entomb. Not just yet, there goes the Entomb, and the Welling Arrow combo on top of it, but where is the damage? Water Elemental knocking onto the Muradin, Divine Shield, as well as the Straight Fan dropping a lot of HP. Noble is popping, Avatar already going in, looking for the lockdown. Caffeine wishing to respawn faster, not gonna get it yet. Nobles will pull back, and Team DK will be safe. That is a 1-for-0 exchange.
Once again, that Howling Blast was so impressive. They weren't quite able to capitalize on it, but they still did get the Leoric takedown as well. Such a fantastic job by Team DK, and once again, they find themselves up a talent tier just as shrines are about to spawn. But it's not so dire for Cloud9. They're only half a level behind this time. Maybe potential where they won't just have to give away a Dragonite for free once again to DK.
I'm really excited. I'm looking at a possible Icy Veins build right here, and Caffeine is pulling back. It's going to be okay, but they are one talent down right now. They need to soak the lanes a little bit more before they can get to level 13. And Team DK, they are looking pretty good going into the next phase here for the Dragon Shrines.
The difficulty for Cloud9 is because they have been behind in these fights and they have lost some towers. It becomes pretty tough for you to try to pick up those shrines in top and bottom. Thankfully, Rexar did pick up the Bruisers. That pickup at level 7 for his Spirit Swoop, giving extra damage to non-heroic minions, does mean that you're able to jungle very effectively.
Yeah, we see Caffeine using the Ray Fork nicely timed. And also the fact that I think Arthas is the biggest problem for them. They just cannot go too close to this guy. He does have the Frozen Tempest that does a good amount of AoE damage. And King Caffeine is again setting up the stage with Drain Hope. That is the only thing useful against the Arthas. And as he drops to below 50% HP, some shields coming out. Water Elemental popping as well. Top lane, iDream dropping a lot of HP. And Sniper Noblest will be able to pick out iDream in the top lane. SCSC maybe the trade here, and he goes down 1-for-1. And Tomb snatches Uther, but there is no damage. The Water Elemental's knocking everybody. Jaehyun will be okay.
Man, the Water Elemental, that's exactly what you talked about. The Entomb with Water Elemental, a snowman saying, if you want to walk past me, you can, but you're going to be slowed down and chilled, and you're going to have to walk past all of these members. But we have a 1 versus 1. But both of the shrines, once again, picked up by DK. But for now, we're going to just see them continue to kind of play roulette here, trying to get to either rotations in and pick them both up.
Oh my God, Fan, you don't want to appear to chain stun, and the hunting will not be successful. Down goes Sylvanas.
All right, so Sylvanas down, and this is a big deal for DK because they're finding themselves up in experience, but also with a little bit of a power play where they have 5 people on the field, and this is huge on Dragonshire because this is a window where you can really try to make something happen. Caffeine really good at guarding the Dragon Shrine, and they do have both of the temples, so that's going to slow down DK. It's very important here that they do everything they can not to give up another Dragon Knight.
They're not really worried about the top shrine because you always have Misha, doing the dirty work, going to the shrine there and picking it up really well. And right now, the rest of Cloud9 just holding it, playing it safe. May see a possible bush party here. Noblest as well as the rest of the team looking for a possible flank, but he may be in a lot of trouble if they spot him out. Fan gonna get caught out. Jaehyun swings by looking for the stun, will not get it. Caffeine now also using Wraith Walk, and it seems like the push on the bottom lane will still continue from Team DK.
Yeah, they have so much damage they can just freely throw on that, and the zoning from SCSC was really superb. Nobody wants to walk through the Frozen Tempest because it slows you more and more the longer you're in it, so he can follow with you, make you slowed, taking free damage, if you will, for DK. So all the while, Vala and Zagara were free to throw damage on that fort, so that'll be the first fort taken down for the game, and that does give level 16 to Team DK.
They will have the talent lead again, but just for a brief moment here, Sniper going back to the top lane to address this. Rexar is almost looking like it's a very, very painful hero to deal with in the top lane. Without Zagara there's nothing they can do. They're gonna make sure that they don't fight S5s. And Dragonshire, I mean, this battleground is all about teamwork, split up. You're not looking at big 5v5s all the time. You're looking at strategy. You're looking at a macro play. You're looking at making sure that you win the lanes and defend the fort, because the first fort will be what keeps the shrine folks alive.
Yeah, there's a lot of skirmishes here, like you mentioned. You don't see a ton of those 5v5 fights, and when you do, they're always very epic, but until then, you really want to try to catch your opponent where they have fewer heroes than you do, or they're down a talent tier when you are. It's all about strategizing, trying to catch them in their rotations and have the favorable engagement on top of that.
Okay, we see the top shrine again. Misha swings by, denying the possibility there, as well as the Dragon Shrine in the mid lane. Still no Cloud9 members going for it. Rest of Team DK with a bit of a rotation to the top lane. iDream buying so much time, but where is the Dragon Shrine attempt?
Well, Caffeine's trying hard, but there are several members here of DK going to be able to stall it out long enough for them to pick up the top shrine. Speaking of King Caffeine, I wanted to point out that he did grab Imposing Presence at 16. This isn't often seen on Leoric. You usually see like the Renewed Swing or Consume Vitality for a Skeletal Swing. Oh, but he might be in trouble here, so we might have to continue this conversation later, Babel.
Brave walk from Caffeine. Noblest looking for the lockdown, not going to get it. Dunk Train keeps the teammates safe, and the rest of Team DK now with a 5-man aggression on the mid lane. They will not have control of the top shrine. Again, Misha goes to work.
Yeah, well, they're having a heck of a time picking up the shrines. They can't, or at least are stopping the Dragon Knight being picked up from Cloud9, but it's only a matter of time until Cloud9 may be able to find one of these members of DK, catch them out. It could be right here. They're on the way in.
And yet to catch a sniper. That goes to the shoot Jaehyun, pulling back, and that goes to the very wall. And Central Healing connects. Baneling's bursting some damage. K1 Pro will be okay. pulling back. Noblesse one slot, K1 Pro will sidestep the stun, and K1 still staying safe. The rest of the team coming back in here. We will lose Sagara on the side of Team DK. iDream with Misha doing so much work, but no more best around. And iDream still staying alive. Rexar goes down. SCSC still pretty okay, but Noblesse dropping way too much HP. 2-for-1 exchange so far, maybe more. SCSC gets stopped, and Aspas looking to go down. Last few hits, and they get it. Noblesse down. Also one go down. One man down. That crowd is roaring. Cloud9 will win that fight.
4-for-1 here in favor of Cloud9. They finally find an engagement, and for once they're ahead in experience. They're going straight for the Dragon Knight. They know this is their time. They've got to start getting some structures down. But thankfully, they haven't really even lost very much themselves into this game. We've had a lot of really good defense from both sides on those structures.
We will celebrate the first Dragon Knight for Cloud9 as they plow down the mid lane. Finally, a fort on the side of Team DK will be addressed here. Fans knocking on quickly on the mid fort. And still we have 20 seconds before the full team forms up for Team DK with Mordin's respawn.
Yeah, at this point, they're going to, it looks like they're going to go down and take another 4-2. They realize they're getting very, very close to those Storm talents at level 20, which would be oh so beneficial for them. And they're even skipping the talents, or the towers. They know that they need to use this time they have with the Dragon Knight on more experience giving and more important structures like this fort.
Look at K1 Pro, it is the IC vein. It's time for Jaina to let it go. Level 20, Storm talent getting picked up, Dilly.
Yeah, we have rewind for more heals from Rhaegar, as well as Spectral Leech coming in for Leoric. Every time he has a basic attack, he'll be stealing health from all of the members, making him even more survivable and taking even more of the life away from these members of Team DK.
It's such a good counter against Arthas because he's got a good amount of HP right there. Caffeine with the Entomb a bit too far back. Rest of the team still not ready for it. Fans gonna respawn in just 5 seconds. The whole team pulling back slowly. Misha knocking on the keep. The keep will still stand, but C9 pulls back. They have the Storm talent. It could be a bait. We don't know just yet. And it seems like it will be the Howling Blast connecting a little bit. Drainholm will be disconnected as well. Noblesse will just run away with the Dwarf Toss. Rest of the team going in the last hit. And they get the kill for Cloud9.
Spirit Swoop will swoop in and take out the keep. They're able to secure that. DK tried desperately to push them back, but they knew it was going to be very difficult to deny that keep getting taken out because they don't have level 20, still half a level away. And this is a time when Cloud9 are going to start to paint the map blue. They're going to move around. They're going to push the lanes back. They're going to pick up whatever camps they are and push with them, especially those bottom camps. They're so important now because they have the keep down there. Those will be pushing with catapults, Babel.
That's exactly why the combat mechanics in this game is so strong. You're looking at one good fight and the mid four going now. The entire bottom lane decimated already. Cloud9 still has the lead, but Team DK is almost getting the level 20 that they desperately need.
And that's the power of Sylvanas too, right? The fact that they were able to go in and take out so many structures lends to the fact that she has that black arrow for her trait. She's able to stop those structures from attacking. They can at any time rotate to another structure like we see them doing here and quickly start to decimate it as well.
Lyric scouting out the enemy team. He does have Brave Walk. He will be okay. Drainholm not connecting. A bit of a dangerous position for him to be in. iDream's Misha looking for a bit of a disengage in case it is needed. But C9 stays safe.
Yeah, she's so nice for that. The fact that she only counts as a quarter of experience if you do take her out. You don't want to lose her because Rexar is way weaker without her. But the fact that you have her there, she can be out in front and she can charge in to stun someone to allow the other heroes to escape is really nice play by iDream on that Rexar.
Knowing Cloud9's strategy, they win one more fight and that's all they need. It will be a straight core if possible. iDream goes in for the lockdown. Spectral Leech going to work. There goes the Hardened Shield quickly. On SCSC, Caffeine pulling back, 2-men stun in the background, but Team DK will steal one blood. Sniper is already in position for the Devouring Maw if needed.
Yeah, Cloud9 took some damage there, but everyone's healing back up. Noblesse jumping very far forward. Now that is down. That means Dwarf Toss is down. They aren't going to go straight after him, but it could have been a potential for them to do so.
Yet, unfortunately, Fan as well as down trained in both the Sylvanas and Rhaegar. They are at the top lane. And we see King Caffeine again going and boxing out the Meridian. Who's the real king here?
I think King Caffeine.
Yep, not Mountain King nor the Lyric Black King, but here we have King Caffeine, and coffee wins any day.
All right, well, I agree with that. I would love some right now. But until then, let's see who's going to grab the next Dragon Knight. We have iDream. Once again, Misha on that shrine. So nice to be able to pick that up with her without putting themselves out of position. They have the potential there. There is the charge in as well. And you mentioned it. If they pick this up, they're going to go to core with it. It's a potential 20-minute Dragon Knight. That is so strong.
It is Mutalis just retiring right there. And we also see iDream just using Misha to its maximum potency right here, defending the shrine quickly, and Noble is going in, missing the Storm Bolt. Unfortunately, SESE will be in front, but there is the Entomb on 2 targets, also the silence in the back line. But Cloud9, they are not comfortable yet. They want to take it a little bit slower, making sure Misha with Vessel Rum holds the front line. There goes Misha charge, and then the chill onto the Meridian. It's going to be okay. King Caffeine from the back line, still not at 2 for 30 seconds, but he's still holding on pretty strongly. Will not be enough. A 3-man Devour from Team DK. They want blood beatings coming out. More damage on the side for the Koreans, but still no takedown yet. Dunk Train now trying to stay alive, but will not be successful. 2-for-0 exchange.
2 down on the side of Cloud9, and one of them their healer. This is big for DK. They've already picked up one of the shrines. They send Muradin up to the top to get it and start to rotate to the mid in the meantime. They're ready. It looks like Cloud9 are desperate to try to stop this. They know that probably everyone isn't up here yet, especially because Leoric provides vision.
The flag from K1 Pro. They won this takedown. Nobody's going to go out. But Cloud9, 3 versus 4 is still not so good. We have a bit of a catch-up. Caffeine from the back line. They need to group up, waiting for the reset. The Entomb on 2 targets, but still not enough damage. Caffeine holding the front line. iDream with Misha. They want to box out SESE. He pops the Army of the Dead. Strafe doing a lot of damage in the back line. Crazy moving, staying safe. Some kills coming in, but still no kills yet. And Arthur's maybe the first to go down. Arthur's getting healed up again. And with the Divine Shield, stays left up. Will go down. In the back line, J-View now. In even more trouble. Willing arrow connect. Misha jumps on Joy. Unfortunately, no stop, but J-View will go down.
That fight could have been so bad for Cloud9, but they rolled the dice, and it came up boxcars because they didn't have their support. They didn't have Rhaegar, and it was only a warrior down on the side of DK. Yes, it was a very important warrior, but they still had one more. It was much scarier for Cloud9 there, but they knew they had the Sylvanas. They knew they could stop the fort from attacking. They went in for it, and they were able to pick up yet another Dragon Knight here.
Oh, Fan channeling up. Fan will beat up Dragon Knight. Misha catches SESE, and there goes the Entomb. This is a big problem, and the chargeback on Bola, not enough damage from Team DK. We still see Fan doing some damage, but it is not going to be a kill just yet. Cloud9, they want to take it slow. They don't have to rush this, but they are in the lead.
Yeah, and Jaina is up in 10 more seconds too. And they have plenty of time, still a full minute with the Dragon Knight still for Jaina to be able to come up. And you look where they're pushing. They already have catapults here. There's only a tower standing in the way for the core. They know this is a 22-minute Dragon Knight, Babel.
It is going to be the bingo lane right here. We're looking at a tower, but Fan wants to go to the core. Caffeine on the back line, doing some damage against Noblius. That Spectral Lich is just so painful to deal with that I don't think Muradin will stay safe. Fan losing a lot of HP, tanking up so much damage, but Muradin still not going down here. Fan now may actually respawn at Sylvanas, and Cloud9 will fail this objective. They have to pull back. We still see Noblius staying safe. King Caffeine running back again. Stumble misses yet again, and the essential healing unfortunately will not connect. We will be down for 5 seconds, and Cloud9's Caffeine needs to respawn quickly. He's using whatever mechanics possible to come back and break the game.
Misha was there once again and did fall, but as I mentioned before, not a ton of experience. And at this point, we've already hit the Storm talent, so it's more important that they're able to keep all of their big heroes alive. And that means they need to get Leoric back. But you mentioned it before, he'll come back faster. He is Leoric and has that undying ability. He can use his abilities to cheat death a little bit, and that's exactly what he's done. So he's almost up. The important thing is that the rest of Cloud9 were able to get away, so it didn't become a win condition for DK.
It is, and in fact, if you think about it, the 2 things that can die on Cloud9's roster, first would be Misha. That's the best thing to throw away. Second would be King Caffeine, because he comes back so quickly. So in general, it's still not a bad of a loss at the bottom lane, but they did not push down the lane fast enough. And generally, it's just a bit of a miscommunication, I think. They wanted to go for Muri, they wanted to push together, and nothing was achieved.
Yeah, the Dragon Knight did take a lot of free damage from that core up there, as well as all of the members, because the rest of the team was focusing on Murden and weren't able to pick him up. So we'll see how this big push, this minion push that we have in the bottom, but we could have a fight as well.
A bit of a problem, Ancestral Healing used already, but this is a sandwich, and Team DK is the meat patty right in the center right now. SCSC holding up the front, trying to chase after Rhaegar, and there goes CN2 splitting the fight into SCSC with the Divine Shield now will be able to hold the front, but Caffeine pulling back, and Cloud9 stays safe. K1 Pro again with the flanks and dropping those really icy cold rain.
Every heroic ability has been used except Devouring Maw, and that can really change the tide of battle. Cloud9 need to be so careful there, and they realized that that was still up. They knew that that could be a potential problem, so really great disengage from them. Both teams playing fantastically here, knowing that a wipe at this point, it's game over for them.
It is, and they have to play very safe. 24 minutes in, almost 25, really. 9-11. We are looking at really good even game here on Dragonshire. Cloud9 still has the lead. They want to make sure they take one good fight. That's all they need to win this game number one.
Yeah, and because they have the keep down, it's on the back foot force DK. But here is the fight. You mentioned this. Visha is charging in.
Oh, maybe this is the one the Varma connects on two targets behind Sniper. With both, that's used. Caffeine gives chase, but already they lose Arthas. And King Caffeine dropping way too much HP will actually go down 1-for-1 at the end.
All right, a warrior down on each side, as we do have the potential for a Dragon Knight to be picked up. One shrine held on either side, a big minion push up in the top, maybe enough to take down this top four. But Sylvanas is gonna come in, she can clear out these waves so fast, might be able to save it.
Might just be enough, but one thing I like to point out here is that if you look at the cooldown, there is no Devouring Maw for the next 1 whole minute. As for all the other heroics used for Cloud9, the cooldown's only 10 seconds remaining, so they can take a fight in the next 10 seconds and have a 30 seconds window to win that fight.
All right, so now we have the Dragon Shrines trying to be picked up. It looks like we might have a bit of a trade here happening, so just back and forth, but Noblesse might be cut out here. Here comes iDream.
And Noblesse pulling back. He's gonna stay safe a little bit. Rest of Team DK is already in the back line. Water Elemental giving chase, and Tomb catches that, but he still has both. Or maybe not. And the welding arrow. But we have the Divine Shield keeping him safe for a little bit. Crazy moving, pulling back again. More consistent damage from Team DK. K1 Pro with the flank. SCSC goes in. He bolts back out, and it seems like there's still no kill.
And the big deal was the Divine Shield was popped there. But once again, now Devouring Maw is up. Unfortunately, Noblesse is in a lot of trouble here, and he's gonna fall.
Noblesse goes down 4 versus 5. This is for real. They know they have the numbers. Can they win this fight? And Tomb is going to be up in just about 15 seconds. FCSC with all those extra body blocks is not able to run away. And Central healing again. And after trying to pull away, running away from that Skyler game. And the Varma connects. Nagara already gone. Maybe Cloud9 wins here. I don't know. But NCSC looks to go down for sure. A lot of kills coming up. It is not enough. 3 men down. JQ now getting one back in. That's the biggest score. Winger Crazy moving, running away. Fan giving chase. But Fan, you want to make sure you focus on the core because this is their moment. Cloud9 looking to nail the final hammer in here. And it will be a possible win. Straight in the back line, but nobody cares about Vala right now. They want the core. They want to make that sandwich. Vala still goes down at the end. But the core now dropping 4 will go down. And it seems like game number 1 will go to Cloud9.
Cloud9 taking game number 1 versus Team DK, and this is huge for them. They are 1 game away from facing Team Dignitas in the finals. All they have to do is 1 more, but Team DK looked very strong for that game. They dragged on for a long time because Cloud9, they really struggled to find the final nail in the coffin there. So we'll see how the next game tends to go.
Well, it is very exciting. I mean, that first game was close for most part, but Cloud9, they had the bigger and better macro game. Don't you agree, Kubi?
Absolutely. When it got to that late game, especially after they got the Wildfire Bear, the Burning Rage upgrade for Misha, all I can say is Misha, Misha, Misha. Because that's what that was all about in all of these team fights in the late game. They just got so much value out of that. Being able to use the Bear to isolate some of the backline targets like Vala, pull them out of the fight because just the positioning, the body blocking was very on point. It was really all about the Warrior play too. The Entombs were not necessarily used to set up kills, but to pull out some of those big cooldown abilities. So let's head on over to the Windows 10 game DVR replay. We can check out one of those exact moments where we really saw that plan going into action. So we have a really nice fight starting, but always keep your eye on Misha. We're gonna pause it right here. At this moment, during this Maw, actually we're gonna go ahead and keep playing it. This really nice Maw gets thrown down, but really the big thing we wanna highlight here is the Wailing Arrow that gets thrown out. But once Uther dies, you have to make sure that you know he's gonna have a lot of healing because of that flashlight. So the team splits up, disengages for just a quick moment, is able to back up, re-engage a little bit after. We see that life leech from King Caffeine, and this becomes an incredible chase. At this point, Noblesse does not have any way to escape at this point, but Misha is getting so much damage in with that Wildfire Bear, able to isolate some of those backline targets. Noblesse, crazy moving, looking for ways to get out of this fight, just was not happening. These are the types of play that Cloud9 is known for, and really what is able to get them this type of victory.
Such an awesome play right there. They capitalized on the mistakes made by Team DK, the overextension. And also, like you nicely pointed out, that was actually the game-changing moment for Cloud9. Don't you agree, Gilly?
No, absolutely. It was fantastic there by Cloud9, but what I love is that it was Rexar and Misha, and we had yet to see them. So that is the big deal, is that Cloud9 were able to keep this strategy until now when we have this all-important game on the line. They want to go to finals. They want to prove that they're better than the Korean region, and they're one game away from doing just that.
They are, and it looks to be very, very much exciting right now. Cloud9, they are up 1-0. For all of you guys who just joined us, you're in for a treat because Team DK, they're one game down. They got to make sure that they equalize this series with winning the next one and possibly even taking it back home after that. That's a huge order for some team, for someone who actually said that there is no more competition here. Everyone else should just have fun. With such a heavy word, being used in front, they're gonna now back it up with real results. We'll see. But in the meantime, guys, we have a break to go to before we bring you game number 2. And in the meantime, also, just let's hear what Cloud9 has to say about the team captain.
I think Dunk Train, as our captain, really brings a lot of stability to our team. We can, on occasion, get a little rowdy or kind of lose focus on what we're really trying to be practicing. And Dunk's really the one to be there and bring it all together and make sure that we stay on track.
Our team captain is just a really reasonable guy, and whenever there's just arguments or disagreements, he'll be there to just fix things. And whenever we just lose track of practice, he gets us focused again.
I'm team captain of a bunch of guys who are kind of goofballs. It makes it a lot easier. We just don't tend to get heated or upset, and you don't need to make administrative decisions that, turn one person against another or anything like that, just because we're so relaxed.
I think like everyone on the team has pretty big egos, and Dunk is able to keep calm, and whenever we have disagreements or whatever, he's there to kind of keep the peace.
The Nexus is a realm of endless conflict. A crucible for heroes ripped from countless worlds. In this new battleground, fate will decide their allies and their enemies. Now, they face a greater trial. Here, anything can happen. Heroes, prepare yourselves! The ultimate challenge is upon you. For soon, you will enter the arena!
Terra Marines are the toughest frag magnets in the galaxy. But when they're in trouble, guess who they call? Winning a battle is more than just shooting enemy soldiers. It's about saving your own. I protect every member of my squad with my life. Sometimes I think I'm the only thing holding them together. Who am I? I'm Lieutenant Morales. I'm your medic. I'm gonna need a lot of bandages.
I think the team we're most afraid of right now is probably DK.
I think everyone expects the Korean region to be really strong coming into BlizzCon. Seems to be the general feel of the community. So more than anything, we're looking to shut them down.
I wouldn't say we're afraid of them. They're just the strongest competitors here.
아무래도 북미 유럽 쪽이랑 게임 안 해봐서 걱정되는 팀이 있다면 C9 팀이 걱정되는 것 같아요.
All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the semifinals between Cloud9 and Team DK. I am Babel, and joining me today is Gillyweed as well as Kubi.
We had a fantastic game one. It was a long game on Dragonshire, which was the choice for Team DK. And yet, Cloud9 were still able to defeat them on their home turf. So now, what do DK choose? Do they choose to go first pick and allow Cloud9 to choose the field of battle? Or do they go for some comfort pick of theirs? They've been showing things like Garden of Terror, Sky Temple. We'll have to see when we get into the draft.
Definitely. I mean, Team DK's strategy so far in all of this competition is to always go for the map pick. Picking the battleground to them is important, and this is again consistent with most teams. In fact, most Asian teams. But we know that Cloud9 plays very differently. They love the first pick, and maybe Team DK may switch it up here to snatch away the first pick. We actually know even why they won the first pick, but we'll say that once the game starts. Right, Kubi?
Yeah, so the big thing to bring up about that is when I was talking to Cloud9 backstage, they said the one battleground they were willing to give them, because they know they like it so much, is Dragonshire. And the fact that they're able to get that out of the way in the very first game, they know that that is their strongest battleground because of how rotationally strong the team is. That really sets them up for very good momentum, not just because they're up 1-0. They know they have that battleground out of the way, and that is going to give a huge morale boost to the team.
It will, and we're also looking at similar battlegrounds that has got a lot of rotations, like Tomb of the Spider Queen, and that would be a possible battleground for Team DK.
It would, but like you mentioned, if they like the potential of picking up the first pick, I'm thinking what you're thinking, maybe a little hive mind here.
Yeah, we have that.
Yeah?
Little
Yeah?
apathers on top of our mind.
Guys,
sorry.
help me out. Come on.
We'll put a hat on you as well.
Okay. Awesome.
We're talking about a certain Frost Mage.
Oh, yeah? Yeah. Okay.
Got it.
There's only one of those. So
Got it.
I have an idea who it is.
And I just have to say, by the way, K1 Pro, he did so well
Oh, man.
in that game just now. The number of flanks from the side, all those damage, and remember, you are looking at 600 damage per 0.6 seconds on the icy veins, on those frost bolts, those little icy shards, they hurt a lot. And when they come up from such an angle, unexpected, there's no way to sidestep them. You get locked down, you get bursted down, and that's exactly K1 Pro's mind game right there.
It was a mind game indeed, Babel. We'll see if they allow K1 to have Jaina once again as soon as we get into the draft. But what are you thinking? If they give the battleground pickup to Cloud9, what are you thinking maybe they would go to?
Well, there's a lot of strategies at play. We've seen them play Lost Vikings. So Garden of Terror would be a possibility as well. You may be looking at Sky Temple, where you have the Illidan Abathur, which they did try and pull out as well, but we don't know what is left in Team DK's wide arsenal of strategies here. But I am getting word that the draft is ready, and we are now going to draft number 2 for the semifinals. We're going to Cursed Hollow. Wow, did not see that coming.
Yes, a very large battleground, of course. We were sort of talking. What?
I know what happened. Team DK went for first pick, and Cloud9, they love Cursed Hollow. So
They
that's
sure
what happened.
do. But we have DK banning out the Kael'thas. I think we're likely to see them grab that Jaina. Cloud9, this is a big battleground. We talked about this. They don't like dealing with the Abathur. Do you think that's maybe a pickup that they will choose to ban?
It's either going to be the Abathur, the Tyrael, maybe the Jaina. We haven't really seen too much of that yet. Also, Uther is in contention there. There really are quite a few very impactful strong picks. Okay, they're sticking to their word. They are just not going to be playing against Tyrael at all for the rest of this tournament.
Sounds like maybe they found something that they dislike more than Abathur. I did not think that was possible, Babel.
Yeah, well, Abathur is one of the most broken mechanics this game has so far, if played correctly.
Right.
Now, don't get me wrong, it's a very hard thing to do, but most teams, they want to make sure that they get the macro game going, soaking the lane EXP. But what this means is that Abathur is actually open for Team DK. And we actually saw Dignitas use the Abathur to take down Cloud9 before, but they will lose the Jaina first.
All right, with Jaina being picked up here, Cloud9 now have 2 picks of their own, and they're the only 2 before we go into the round of bans, because DK will have 2 more picks before that. So looking at this, we still have Uther available, we still have Murden available too, and we even have the potential now, because K1 Pro won't get that Jaina, we may even get to see one of his patented Tyrande plays.
Yes, the Tyrande has really made a huge splash during the Vegas competition. Probably even a lot would say was kind of the MVP, especially during that last game with the Owls. Just sort of has a knack for really having that map, you know, awareness, if you will. What are we going to see for these first 2 picks? Is it going to be that Uther? Seems to be a very common pick to grab early on, but really just does not have the best of win rates, despite how talked up of a hero he is.
I agree. Uther. Whoa! We have Hive Mind! Abathur going to Cloud9. Where's those Abathur hats? We need them right now.
We do! We're feeling you apparently not having these. There is Abathur as well. The big deal, of course, is that ultimate evolution. The fact that you're able to clone one of your teammates and have 2 of the same teammate on the battlefield. But also, those toxic nests. If you go for that toxic nest build, those are so annoying, especially once you pick up that 50% slow. There's lots of places, lots of bushes that you can place those, and when people run through, all of a sudden they're slowed down and taking massive amounts of damage.
Guys, if you can't beat them, join them. So they're going to grab that Abathur. Now, there's a lot of heroes.
That's my head right there.
There you go, Babel.
Sir, I need that.
Just throw it on over here.
Yeah, just throw some over here. But yeah, we have a possible Uther pick as well. Downtrain, he plays Uther really well. I asked him, and he knows, and everybody knows that he got a beard that looks just like the hero.
Yeah. For good reason. For good reason, he really needs to sort of get into the shoes of Uther if he's going to be able to play it that well. So we're going to have Abathur. We need to sort of keep our eyes peeled for what are going to be the good ultimate evolution copies, if you will. What are going to be the good targets for that? Jaina would have been a great one. Obviously, DK has that picked up. Not going to be an option. Perhaps Illidan. Keep that in mind. That is really one of the best ones. Not so heavy of a skirmish map, but they can make it work.
Well, with the Tassadar pickup, that even becomes more viable, because then they have the shields from Tassadar to assist whatever support they choose to pick up on top of that. It really is kind of an all-in strategy on that one hero, but that one hero just won't die and is such a commanding presence when it comes to team fights and the ability to clean up once damage starts being thrown out.
So the next question is, does Team DK foresee this and pick up Muradin sort of as a preemptive counter to get that reverberation and slow the attack speed down for Illidan?
I'm thinking Uther Muradin should go to Team DK. Those are tier 1 heroes, but there's a good reason why Cloud9 prioritized the Tesla Abathur, and it is going to be Uther on the side of Team DK. Downtrain's going to play against his weird team here, or rather copy.
Oh.
And yep, it's going to be Sonya instead.
Oh!
Here we go. Have to wait for that. But Sonya on the side of Team DK, Uther, Jaina. This is a strong lineup here. They got enough damage in the back line, enough burst, and a very, very strong heavy hitter in the front line.
So far, though, the real only control they have is the Hammer of Justice. You know, the spear, but that's not always going to be a guarantee to hit from Sonya. Does Cloud9 ban out, or perhaps even scoop up Muradin in this next set of rotations if they're planning on going for that auto attack? You know, it doesn't necessarily have to be Illidan. There's other options as well. Butcher is going to be quite strong. Any of the strong base spellcaster. Okay, they're going to ban it out themselves.
I love that ban, because it would be so strong versus the composition that DK have. Sonya is all about not getting stunned. You need to be able to keep whirlwinding to be able to stay in the battle as much as possible. She's a very brawler-heavy hero who excels at constantly being in the fights, and stuns just wreck her. So it makes a lot of sense to take out Muradin, who has a lot of those, especially once he goes into avatar form.
Yeah, definitely. And also going to see Caffeine again on Leoric. That is a fantastic hero for him.
Trademark hero.
Yeah, trademark.
Made some plays last game, if I do say so myself.
Best Leoric that the world has ever seen. King Caffeine, here we go. Cloud9 looking for one more pick. What do you guys think it is?
Probably not to show too much of their strategy. They'll take a support.
Yeah.
I would think.
All right,
One
so
more?
Yeah, well,
Okay, there it is. So they're going to go for the Brightwing. A large battleground. They really want to make sure that they do have the rotational ability, especially with the tribute spawning. You know, it's kind of a random, between top and bottom. So they need to make sure they have that mobility. They can soak, and then at the last minute, right before that fight happens, rotate down.
Not only that, but look at what they have. Brightwing and Abathur. Such good abilities to soak because of the phase shift, like you mentioned. They also banned Sylvanas, so they want to be in control of the laning when it comes to this map.
Yeah, definitely someone we all know. Team DK, we're looking for a little bit more. I'm thinking Illidan going to Cloud9 already. This is Protect Illidan composition. They have run this before. It is pretty successful. Now, Team DK, on their side, though, they will have the Vala, which is a bit more of the range damage. Now, the biggest question here is, do they deny the Illidan and pick it up, or is it going to be another frontliner?
I think it'll be another warrior, but who?
Arthas.
Yeah,
That's the one
Arthas,
that's really jumping out at me.
I mean, SCSC, he loves Arthas.
Yeah, and he was, some of those fights, it was just took them over 10 seconds.
Whoa!
Okay! Chen!
It is Chen, it
But
is.
up against Polymorph. That seems like such a risky thing. He's not going to be able to brew using his trait, that fortifying brew. That is what really is giving him that sustain. And if you polymorph him right out of that, he can't really be so far in the front line.
But, oh, sorry.
No, go ahead, go ahead.
But using that enables Sonya, because it's really just the one polymorph, right?
True. If you're soaking up those stuns and disables, yeah, maybe that is really just what they're going for. All right, one more pick.
Wait. I have to say this. Washing machine combo. Washing machine combo.
It's there.
It's right there.
We're going to have the leap.
I don't know if it's going to happen,
Oh,
but
I
it's
hope we
right
do.
there.
Love it.
Wandering Keg is going to be so fantastic to box out even all of those support on the side of Cloud9. One last damage dealer. Let's see what it is. They have got so much support already coming out for them. Who will be
Who's the
leading
target?
us to the promised land?
Who's going to deal all the damage for Cloud9?
Who's carrying the flag? It's Okay, was not expecting to see this at all. They do run it, but man, this feels like an incredibly risky strategy. This is the game that could take Cloud9 to the finals, and they're playing Murky.
Wow, talk about perfect strategy, something we all have never expected before. They have run this before, but this is interesting. So Murky has got Slime Pufferfish safety bubble, but I want to talk about the heroics right there, and it's either March of the Murloc, Octo Grab. The first one, it is a complete disable. You will not be able to move. Those tentacles, feel them. They will be there. And Octo Grab also does so much damage. Such a wide range to catch up. Also, you have the March of the Murloc that basically does a lot of slow as well as damage. Small little AoE, not too small, but big enough for a fight.
Man,
I'm speechless.
Abathur Murky.
Yeah.
What is happening? And I will admit, Dunk Train said to me, are you ready to see a Murky at BlizzCon?
And you just kind of look and you're like,
I
what
was
does that
like,
mean?
no.
When is that going to happen? We asked him during opening. He was like, we're going to play it. We're going to play it for sure. Against GIA, we're going to open up. It just didn't happen. He's like, my team wouldn't let me do it, guys. Like, what do you want? My team wouldn't let me do it. It's like, okay, all right. So that's a little fun thing you try to tease the casters with. That's fine. But here it is.
They're
At the most important stage, here it is.
At a game-winning moment, right?
Yeah.
It's basically one more game for Cloud9, and they're waiting for it to happen. And I think that this is living the dream. That's what Murky's all about. That's what
right.
America's all about.
They're pulling out all the stops. Rexar last game, Murky this game. This is insane. Can Cloud9 do it? Man, DK, I hope you're ready.
You think they've even seen something like this before? That's really the big question. As weird of a pick as this is, how much is it going to throw DK off?
Well, it is going to be up to this Cursed Hollow. It's a big battleground, a lot of room for split push to happen. Now, guys, before we go on, composition favorites, please.
Come on.
Okay, Murky.
Murky, please.
We got an answer already, guys. It's very simple. They like Murky. I think that it's going to be very tricky to push up. I kind of like the washing machine combo a little bit more. So we'll see. We'll see. All right? That's it. Thank you very much, Kubi. We'll see you again after this game for more analysis on the game itself. And ladies and gentlemen, join us on Twitter at Esports Heroes using the hashtag HeroesWC. And you can see 93% for Murky on Cloud9. Finally, we're going in. Living the dream. Game number 2. Cloud9 versus Team DK. We're going to Cursed Hollow. Meeting the fanboy John. On the blue team, we got Cloud9. That train on the Brightwing. Fan on the Abathur. iDream playing as the Murky. And K1 Pro onto the Tesseract King Caffeine on his signature lyric. And on the red team, all the way from Korea, facing elimination, Team DK. Crazy moving as the Jaina. Jaehyun onto the Uther. Nobles onto the Sonya. SCSCM Chun. And Sniper will be your Vala.
Sounds like the crowd's in agreement with the Murky pick here as the gates open. heading into the Cursed Hollow.
It is a big battleground. The strategy here for Cloud9 is very simple. Soak the lane, push the lane, and make sure that Team DK cannot rotate in time. They will probably go for Toxic Nest build here, just to slow and provide a lot more vision.
Yeah, we're looking at the Murky build, and what we're seeing here is he's going to pick up Bubble Breeze. It gives you movement speed once you do go into that safety bubble. So the name of the game, as he starts to pick up more of these bubble talents, especially at 13 and 16, is Annoyance. Murky is made to just die, be taken out over and over again, because he only counts as 25% of a normal hero's experience as long as you don't get his egg on top of the takedown.
Yeah, wow, B-Walk from IG. Well, he is made to die. How do you make a hero that's meant to die and he goes down? Deserving B-Walk right there.
Absolutely. But he's going to spawn right now from his Easter egg and be right back out into the lane just in time to soak up the rest of the experience. It's a little bit scary to have a solo Murky there in the lane, because if he goes down, he can lose out on some of that lane experience. But for now, we do have, it looks like Tassadar joining him, and that means shields. Oh no, Murky is going to rotate up on top of it. So they're just going to be looking for trying to annoy as much as possible. And as they get into the later game, with the build that we'll probably see Abathur put on top of it, it's going to be so much pressure into the lanes. So DK needs to get a lot done early on.
Yeah, and also I really like the idea of having the shield on to Murky, because you just make something that's meant to die almost indestructible. Plus, don't forget you have a little bit extra shield from Brightwing as well, if she does pick up the face shield going into this game right here. In terms of EXP, still very even right now. Team DK rotation-wise, trying the best to cope with this Murky that's just on a Murky hunt.
Our Jaina has picked up Lingering Chill over Deep Chill, so increasing the duration of Chill from 4 to 6 seconds versus the bigger Slow. So looking to be able to have Chill last for longer, be able to deal more damage, the bigger amounts of damage that she does deal for longer amounts of time.
Oh, Caffeine with Brave Walk seems to be okay. Ancient Spear not even going to be used here by Noblesse. And Caffeine just soaking up the mid lane. They're just playing this slow. Remember, Cloud9, they want to play it slow. They want to soak the lane. They want to apply pressure across all 3 lanes and to fill those mid area, the transitionary areas there with those Toxic Nests.
Yeah, when you're against that Toxic Nest build of the Abathur, or when you're playing with it, rather, you really just want to try to get one lane pushed as far as possible, and then eventually you can start to apply a ton of pressure. It's like putting your finger on a bruise for your team, because you just sit there with the Abathur as much as possible and send your Locust in, constantly pushing the lane, putting pressure on your opponents.
All right, needless to say, this first tribute will be very interesting. Almost 0 contest coming out from Cloud9, unless they do decide to park a Murky right next to it. We'll see what happens here. Team DK going for a very easy first one. Dunk Train, throwing some bananas, feeding Uther a little bit. The guy's very happy. He's going to continue going for it. But meanwhile, back line, we got K1 Pro. Noblesse dropping a lot of HP. Tassadar will use that extra help from Dimensional Shift. And Cherry's a flying K Caffeine. Ray walks back out. But the team cannot take a fight. This is not a team composition that can win a fight yet. Leoric goes down. Team DK goes in. And an extra flying king onto Dunk Train. Dunk Train needs to stay safe. Some extra shields coming back out. This is not a Murky. It looks like one, but it's actually a Brightwing. And friends no more. Brightwing goes down.
We can't be friends anymore?
Unfortunately, Brightwing goes down, so I don't think so. We have got Caffeine holding up the front. Murky was trying to attempt a steal right there, but was not successful. We have Abathur soaking the lane, so the longer they buy and drag this out, the more, better it will be for them. See Silent Stone coming up. It's just harassment over and over again. Abathur soaking the lane. In terms of macro, they can hold up without losing too much. They can still win. Caffeine holding up, but will go down. Sniper, big check by Murky. Murky brings the kill to the team. iDream boxing out the Jaina. K1 Pro now going for the tribute. Crazy moving. We'll not see it Abathur onto the Murky, but we'll take it out at last.
It is going to be so difficult for DK to pick up tribute to Ever. Now, once they start to get SCSC bulkier, they have that chin with the talents that keep him alive for forever, it'll be a different story. But for now, the first tribute is going to go the way of Cloud9, and already fans sitting in the top, putting a ton of pressure on towers on top of it.
I have to say, I was completely wrong. I was expecting Cloud9 to just soak the lanes, but they went for it. Went for the tribute, throw out those harassment, avoid the team fight, come back, throw out more harassment, and hope that Abathur does his work, which he did. He soaked up a lot of ammunition, in fact, all of them on the top lane. So Fan, his primary work right here will be to take down the top lane.
Yeah, the name of the game really is to try to make DK, force DK into an engagement, and then make them last as long as possible. And meanwhile, Abathur will be as far as possible possible, pushing that lane, trying to push down some structures. They already drained a ton of ammo and did damage those towers. Starting to get experience from that, that's going to push them ahead, and then they will be able to win team fights potentially just because of the fact that they have level leads.
Yeah, but right now, level lead going to Team DK, just slight level lead, so very much in control here for Cloud9. We got Murky pulling back, SCSE, bring out some fire, iDream saying, you can't touch this. And we have another tribute spawning. Abathur back to the top lane, going toward K1 Pro, channeling it up. Sniper with the Hungering Arrow, but pulls back with a nice vault. Jaehyun looking for the Holy Radiance, not even gonna use it. Oh well, actually use it to force the disengage onto the tribute there. Rest of Team DK is just nicely congregating right here. K1 Pro pulling back. We have a bit of a Brightwing assistance coming. Caffeine goes down, they lose one member. We still have Murky applying a lot of harassment onto Jaehyun. Unfortunately not gonna go through, and a tribute will go to Team DK.
Normally that would be a very scary tribute to try to pick up for DK because it is in a protected area for Cloud9, but they were able to make it work. They all got in there, they had a perfect position, they separated out the teammates from each other, and were even able to pick up a takedown. Now looking at the talents we have as we get closer and closer to our heroic abilities, I wanted to highlight that we do have Manic Pixie for Brightwing, so it's not going to be damage on her polymorph, it's going to be extra heals for anybody who does have that shield Pixie dust on them.
Yeah, not Peekaboo. Peekaboo is apparently not so useful in this battleground somehow. But we still have Mana Pixie, which basically helps a lot for the Brightwing. And I do believe that as time goes on, the EXP will catch up for both sides. It looks to be pretty even right now. Team DK, they made it work in the last tribute because they were forcing members off the same direction. They're gonna make sure that Cloud9 comes from a different direction every single time. They got members that basically don't stay alive so long. And look at that iDream, looking for the burst. Pufferfish will not be enough, but Murky, it's a good try.
Yeah, he did put some serious damage down, and we did see the Octograb, which is what he picked up. We also have Ultimate Evolution, Blink Heal, Force Wall from Tassadar, and once again the Entomb. So maybe we're gonna see an Entomb with the Force Wall just to cap it off as a nice little box.
Yeah, it will be really, really good. I mean, it is an interesting follow-up. It is a kill zone, and if you have Murky's Pufferfish with Rewind, there's two fishes inside in a box. That's scary.
Sounds like a fish taco right there.
It is a fish taco. Sniper getting cancelled there. Signing Storm not perfectly covering the whole area, but Sniper looking to pick it up really well. And they will get the second tribute for them. Murky still goes down at the end again. Caffeine in the mid lane facing some trouble against Chen. In terms of having the macro game, it doesn't seem to work out so well for Cloud9.
Yeah, I wanted to point out that Cloud9, King Caffeine did pick up Fealty Unto Death at level 4. That is not a normal pickup. It's almost always Hardened Bones because you really need to be able to take less damage when you Wraith walk away from a lot of damage. And a lot of damage is exactly what DK has. So picking up that Fealty Unto Death means that he wants to be able to, well, every time a minion near him dies, he gains back health and mana. So they're planning on being in lane a lot. Yeah,
it is. And Caffeine facing off here a little bit, using Brain Hope to stay alive. Some shield from K1 Pro. Also Brightwing swinging by. They lose the tower right here to mid lane. The next tribute's actually going to spawn really soon. And yep, there we go, 15 seconds. I called it. Crazy moving now, coming in to join the rest of the team. Now, if Cloud9 cannot deny this tribute, it will be cursed.
All right, so they're starting to head up to it right now. We'll see where Abathur goes, probably to the bottom lane to start putting pressure on those structures. But there is a lot of damage already put on King Caffeine, and that's what I'm talking about because of they don't have that Hardened Bones. He took a lot of damage in the Wraith walk, and they've already been able to take out King Caffeine at this tribute phase.
Can they stop Jaehyun? I don't think so. Wow, a nice disengage. Some bananas being thrown out. Who thought bananas could be so useful? Jaehyun now able to try and channel up against Murky going down. Caffeine looking for the respawn. Abathur soaking the lane separately. K1 Pro pulling back. The Force Wall being used. Chen boxing them up. But we got Jaehyun picking up the curse, and it is curse for Team DK. They will be able to push the top lane. SCSE goes in because the towers are not attacking. The fort is completely AFK, and Dung Train needs to pull back. We see Abathur coming in to do the extra work, but SCSE is still pushing Dung Train back, and it will not be a successful defense.
The really big deal there on top of it is that Murky didn't have an egg down, so that was a full respawn timer for him. He couldn't come back in and try to deny the tribute pickup, so that's huge. On top of that, level 13 now being picked up for DK. Jaina considering that Icy Veins, but I'm wondering if maybe she'll want Ice Block because of the fact that Murky can always be there, always putting on pressure, and she could find herself out of position.
A possible Ice Block will be able to stop the Octograb, but right now, we have to remember that Cloud9, they can play the long game here. They don't have to go so quick on defending all of these extra outer towers. They just got to make sure that they stay safe and hit their level 20 when you have Rewind, when you got Octograb with 2 pufferfish, extra slimes, and you got a bit of the extra hive mind on a symbiote. That's going to be really good for Abathur. It just shields up so much. Lyric will practically never go down.
Now with your first curse, you're looking at the 2-fort rule. You really want to get 2 forts down because that means that you won't get into, well, we're getting into an engagement right here now, so hold that thought.
Here comes the Divine Shield. Murky goes down again. A quick respawn will be possible, but Caffeine will be the next to go down. Fan out, dropping a lot of HP. Looking to pull back, will be okay. It's actually the Ultimate Evolution clone right there, so he's doing as much damage as possible. We see Dungfrin doing some extra damage with those extra health of those bananas right there, but iDream will be pulling back. Caffeine looking to respawn. They seem pretty helpless at this state, actually. And K1 Pro popping the extra force wall will be okay. Caffeine respawning as CSC just completely drunk behind at the back line right now. And the Pufferfish going out to do a little bit of damage. Will not connect on Chun. Chun's gonna be okay. Caffeine with some extra shields in front. Pulling back. We see some damage, but Chun will pull back and try and stay safe. SCSC, a lot of HP loss already, and this is the kill zone. The Pufferfish comes out, but it will get cancelled at the end. iDream giving the chase. Octo Grab not available for the next 25 seconds. And it seems like the team is still giving chase here. Noble is pulling back. Sniper will be safe. SCSC drinking up as he goes. iDream still with Avatar on top will finally go down.
Man, we have the Barrel Boys in this house as Chin has picked up that Wandering Keg, and now they have nearly, well, they have a full level lead, but they're nearly 16 talents on top of it. And I mentioned, you're looking at a 2-fort rule with your first curse. That's generally how much you want to get done. It puts you a lot ahead, but it also doesn't mean that you overcommit resources and maybe get caught out when structures start to come back online. They got 2 forts, but they also got the towers in front of the mid keep, and they got a lot of damage on that keep as well.
They got so much benefit from the first curse. Cursed Hollow is a very snowballing map. Generally want to make sure that you get those triggers early on. It's not to say it's impossible to come back, but you're going to make sure that you play even harder at a later stage here. And Murky again in a lot of trouble. The boss will go to Team DK. Crazy moving, looking to do some damage there. Nice step by iDream. I'm surprised he's not B-walking right now, but he's going to be okay.
Now they picked up the boss on top, and it's really important that they grab that. It's the safer one. It's on their side, but also that's where it's going to push, and they've already taken down the fort on that side, so it's going to start putting pressure onto the keep structures. And later on, because it is on their safe side, on DK's side, that's always something that they can be looking at winning off of because of that boss. So they really want to get as much damage done from that, and they really want to keep putting on the pressure on that top lane specifically.
At a moment like this, Avatar's play will be important. You want to make sure that you have a good Avatar on your side, because you have still 2 more tributes to go. That is about 2.5 minutes into this next phase of the game. As long as Avatar can soak up the lane and get a level lead back, it's going to be pretty possible before they are forced to take the next fight. They want to get level 16 because that's where most of the talents will be unlocked here quickly for Cloud9.
Now they did pick up level 16. A great play, by the way, in grabbing that level 16. King Caffeine pushed with these giants while the rest of the team knew they had enough damage to take out the boss. So they knew they didn't need to have everyone there. It was overkill, so they got their level 16. Unfortunately, they did lose their own boss. They knew they couldn't contest it. They didn't have the same talent tier, so they are going to have to deal with this boss on top of it. And this means that Cloud9 is being put on the back foot on their favorite battleground here.
Yeah, it is. We still see the Grave Golem pushing down the bottom lane. Avatar is trying to do whatever he can on the top lane right now. And Tomb being used already. Caffeine don't have that for the next 45 seconds. Tribute spawning on the top half of this map. But Team DK, they don't care. They want to get the bottom keep. Murky's egg is so close to the team. They're going to make sure they play safe. Down train pulling back. Polymorph going down. iDream swings by. Looking for some damage. A fan cloning up another Caffeine. That is Tulio in the back line. Noble is in a lot of trouble. There goes the Divine Shield. Will be okay. Pufferfish will connect. It seems like Jaehyun is dropping a lot of HP, but will still stay safe. Caffeine goes down at the end. Ice Block comes out. Fan now doing even more damage. Crazy moving goes down. Nobilis will also be in a lot of trouble, dropping way too much HP. The team has to force to disengage. We see Dimensional Shift. iDream coming back out again. And finally going to see Brightwing phase shift right into this one. Sniper going down a lot of damage already. Some extra help from Avatar. The top hat quickly onto iDream. And he will again use the safety bubble. This is why Murky's so good at level 16. Caffeine looking for the respawn, slowing them by so much. And Team DK may not be runway, but Wandering Keg ensures that the safety mechanic will be there. And Tomb catches them. Sniper now in even a lot more trouble. The Pufferfish gets cancelled, but SCSC jumps onto iDream. iDream still alive. Murky, he is practically not made to die. With Avatar on top of him and safety bubble. And now the Brightwing attempt. SCSC says, I'm done, I'm enough, I'm just gonna drink here. You know, I'm gonna really go ahead. Looking to go down, way to go down. And Cloud9, they are back in this game. The game is equalized.
How did Cloud9 pull that off? It looked so bad, but man, they Murky. They knew when Leoric would be back up. Now they've taken out a fort. Meanwhile, that whole entire time, that huge, long fight, they had Abathur up top, soaking and pushing too. They're ahead in experience, Babel.
Yeah, they are, and this is why a good Abathur is so important. You need to know when you need to body soak, and that's exactly what Fan did, going all the way out here to the top to make sure he makes that play. But we're gonna be careful. There are some enemy, well, structures here that can spot him out, and the rest of Cloud9 pushing down the bottom lane, and Tube not really connecting, straight by Sniper going out. A lot of consistent AoE damage coming out from that Vala. iDream now pushing down the bottom lane. Novelist flanking from the side. Murky goes down, but a puffer fish, the damage has been done, and Vala goes down. What a world ball trade. Murky will rejoin quickly, but Caffeine dropping a lot of HP, some shields going down, and he goes down finally. Fan now dealing some damage in backlane. Novelist now, you don't want to play against Murky. There goes the slide. Murky now with the invulnerability again on the safety bubble. A few seconds before he will be able to use it again. Just so good. iDream giving a bit of a chase with more slime. Gotta stay safe here. The shift from Tesla, K1 Pro. Popping dimensional shift. Novelist with those extra slams coming in. iDream running back. But look at Fan, he gets the turn. What a team!
This whole time, Fans just sits there, picks up the tribute. He's like, I'll just grab this, guys. Don't worry. Look at the push on top too. Now they're even back. Caffeine's back. He hits the Entomb on top of Gino and as well. And there is the force wall.
But there is not enough damage for a takedown, and Murky's not in the vicinity. SCSC with a flying king on the Caffeine. It's gonna go down easily, and that's gone already now. Team DK wants a little bit more. The curse will still be in effect. Here comes iDream. Murky lifts the dream with another pufferfish, looking to use the safety bubble to stay alive. Nova to the whirlwind. They want to burst out of Murky, but it's so hard with so much shield up. It's practically like an Illidan with so much extra damage on it. A lot of AoE damage. The box grab goes down. Pufferfish not used, but the damage has been done. It's just buying so much time. Meanwhile, they lose the top cave.
They hate to play against the style, but apparently they love to play it. They get a keep, the first keep of the game.
And you have iDream still on SCSC. Come on, get it out of me, brother. This is not gonna work out. He bolts away. They want to catch a little bit more. And Tomb, big use. SCSC in a lot of trouble. Drinking his wolves away. That's not gonna work. Polgar goes down. And Chad will be going down as well. Novelist now in a lot of trouble. Murky's addressed, but that's okay. Caffeine pulling back K1 Pro against Vala with the Alpha Bright Wing on the sideline. Caffeine pulls to the left side, will be safe. Murky's egg is just so close.
Man, that was an amazing play by King Caffeine to wait until the bolt from Chen had been used to throw down the Entomb on top of it. You can't use it twice in a row, and it's a 70-second cooldown. So they were able to throw down the polymorph. He couldn't drink through it, and on top of that, they got Chen down. He's down for another 34 seconds. This is a perfect amount of time for them to be able to, is this them just going out and taking the boss by themselves? I guess with the Abathur hat, that's a lot of damage they can do on top of it. So they're gonna work on this. They wanna get another keep down. They wanna win condition. They wanna move on to the grand finals of BlizzCon.
And they get spotted up by Team DK. The rest of the team in the vicinity. Caffeine now with the flank. Divine Shield, Foswell. You shall not pass. But nobody gets it, but the rest of the team, Caffeine will go down.
This Dunk Trains family right here cheering for him, cheering loud. Give them a cheer as well for supporting him. Come on, Cloud9, that's what they're saying. And let's see if they're able to close out the series.
And we still see iDream playing the Murky, living the dream in the back line. In terms of level, both teams are dead even. Another Fossil Sniper has the vault, will be okay. He does alter a bolt of the stump. K1 Pro gives chase. Psionic Stump coming right out. Caffeine looking for the respawn. A few seconds remaining. The swing will not connect. No slow right there. But K1 Pro gives chase again. Another false wall. Novelist dropping so low. Jaehyun quickly with those heals. Caffeine respawns and Tomb. It's a possibility here, but he will not use it.
All right, so they're just working on getting these lanes, continuing to push. Meanwhile, Abathur has been putting on the pressure, just hanging out in mid, why not? As he's working on that final fort remaining on the side of DK. But the really important thing is that DK is kept completely back in their base at this point. This is a battleground. Well, all battlegrounds, you don't want to have catapults pushing against you, but especially on Cursed Hollow, because you want to be out, you want to be contesting these tributes. If they could pick this one up, they would be able to get a curse, but it's not going to happen. Dunk Train is here. Can Noblesse slow him down to the line? Slowing.
And the wall, and Caffeine will go down, but DK, they will not get the tribute. No curse. Curse is denied. iDream going in. There are no mistakes for Murky, just happy little accidents. ruined. I know, we got it. And we also will see Team DK now knocking on a possible wall. Idrim in the backline, Popovich not connecting. They're knocking on the Grave Golem. Already, Caffeine looking for a respawn. Idrim goes down, K1 Pro needs to stay safe. He does have pressures and not a false wall yet again. And Murky looking to rejoin the team quickly, but look at Fan. He's pushing the bottom lane. SCSC now going up against K1 Pro. He may not have pressures. There goes another dimensional shift. Won't be okay. And Murky gives chase in the backline. Another clone to Tassadar in the backline. SCSC holding up. Murky goes down. Nobilis wants to give chase against Caffeine. He's holding up so well with the Spectral Leech, but will Wraith walk out of trouble there? And then at the end, Ancient Spear, will connect on Caffeine. He finally goes down. Nobilis is doing whatever, but look at M3. He's getting a keep.
The keep is going down so fast to these Locusts. DK realize they need to try to win here. This pressure is too much for them. They're trying to get a team wipe, but it's so tough because Murky just keeps walking right back into the fight and dealing more damage every time they think they nearly have it. Murky comes back, or Leoric comes back. It's so difficult for them, but if they can get this tribute, they would be able to get a curse, start to even out this pressure.
Yeah, they have to. They're just buying time, playing it safe, toxing Ness up whatever, wherever, and hoping to make sure that they get one good fight. That's all they need to end this game for Cloud9. But Team DK, they also can't win this game in one fight. Now iDream is getting chased by 3 heroes right here. This is remarkable.
All right, so King Caffeine working on Chin with that Drain Hope. He's already very low. iDream trying to come in a lot of trouble, but does have that rejuvenating bubble, so healing back up. The Entune goes down, but Caffeine very far forward will get taken out, as does Murky. Only Tassadar and Brightwing remain, but once again, they bought the time. They picked up the tribute. Another curse denied from DK.
Credits to Dunk Train right there. He just directly went for the tribute and got the extra count. So now it's 2 upon 3 for both sides. Team DK is definitely frustrated. How do you work against such a composition? So much shield, impossible to take down, and so much toxicness. Gonna make sure the position's right, gonna make sure the flank angle is correct, and gonna make sure to stay alive on top of all of it. It is gonna be really, really hard for them to pull off.
All right, well, we've got the boss trying to get picked up here from Cloud9. They know that keep is down. They know they could push with that and be able to win the game. It's been caught, but there's the underground.
This is Vala, and she goes down. This will be the window that team needs. They got 60 seconds to make the magic work here. Takes down this Grave Golem, push down the bottom lane. SCSE spots out, but the Toxiness will slow him a little bit. Maybe go for a second kill. We don't know. Caffeine getting cloned here by Fan will also go down for an even trade. But maybe Chun trying to pull back will not be possible easily. There goes the false wall, and no flying kick, and no polymorph yet. He does have Bolt of the Storm. SCSE is going to stay safe a little bit. Will be okay. Caffeine in the back line looking for the respawn, but does not have it yet. He does have Filthy, but it's not quick enough. And Caffeine is holding up the aggression. Fan again, so close to the tribute, looking to do a little bit of extra contribution here. Murky will go down. Fan just runs away.
Yeah, a really big point there is that because Vala did go down, they knew exactly what Cloud9 was up to. They knew they had to deny that boss. So going in with Chen, they didn't want to lose him, but they were able to send him in and be able to stop that boss pickup. That's huge for DK.
Oh, the shield, and Caffeine will be okay. Dream with the safety bubble, as well as K1 Pro flanking on the side again. And Noblesse now trying to hold the front. We see Caffeine doing whatever he can. SCSC pull back at the Yamto grab again. iDream not able to go quickly because of the cleanse on the crazy moving. And we see that Murky still holding the front, K1 Pro the back line against Noblesse. There goes the extra. A hungry tag, and quickly Sniper picks up Fan on the sideline. We also will see the Divine Shield on the crazy moving. He's getting healed back up by Jaehyun, but iDream has got so much AoE damage with those slime. And SCSC still holding the front. Sonya goes down, and we see the Ice Block. This could be game. iDream picks up Jaina. Jaina's gone. SCSC way too low for count, but iDream goes down. But his egg is very, very far. He will not rejoin in time. Red team gets Kurt. Tassadar gets it for the team. We're having a lot of pressure on top lane and bottom lane. Chen goes down. 3 men down. It's Sniper. It's Jaehyun. Has Cloud9 done it?
Cloud9 is on their way to the core. Should bypass this keep, especially because it's not going to attack because it is cursed. But the big thing was because, yes, Vala was able to take out the Abathur, but now the Octagram goes down. She wasn't there for the fight, and they've lost 3 people. They only have 2 left here to be able to defend this.
The core 30%. Cloud9 will go to the final. That's exactly how the Korean overlords fall.
Cloud9 victorious in the semifinal, 2-0 versus DK, and they move on to face Team Dignitas in our finals.
Wow. good as long as the player is good.
It was a fantastic job by them, definitely, and I can't wait to see what Kubi brings to the table to show us. Because there were so many cool plays, and I want to know what you chose.
Oh my goodness! And the whole draft, we were just kind of hyping up, like, all right, they're going to go for this Illidan, maybe some Butcher play. They're building the entire composition around being able to support one hero. In this case, Murky, played by iDream. So let's head on over to the Windows 10 game DVR replay. We can check out some of the finer moments of Murky. What makes him absolutely so obnoxious in these compositions is his ability to chase consistently with the Tassadar shield, the Abathur hat, the shield being applied from that, the consistent healing from Brightwing, and all these fights go on for so long. And the sustain from Chen, you think that that is going to be enough to keep you alive in these fights? Think again. iDream is constantly on the move, threatening these positions, dragging the game out. That was all that they needed to get this game to move forward, which is getting to level 16 and beyond and slowly draining them of all of their will to move forward this game. And this is exactly the type of combo that really makes Murky so threatening. We're going to pause it right here, and it has absolutely to do with this pufferfish. So much damage. If you guys know you played Murky, a huge startup time for that, but huge damage comes out of this ability. It pairs so well with the Octograb. All they need is to make sure that Uther is not anywhere nearby to provide any kind of cleanse or divine shield. Exactly what is going on in this case. They're able to continue to lock down these heroes consistently with these kind of punishes. We're going to see one more clip with a really nice Entomb, another ability that was so good and clutch in really being able to lock out so many of these takedowns throughout the game, and they just completely drained DK of any moral to go on.
Wow, it is really, really awesome. I mean, Cloud9 is doing such a good job at this game. Murky, pocket strategy. We saw Na'Vi pulling out unorthodox strategies already in opening week. We never thought Cloud9 could do the same. We just have to ask ourselves this question. Is there more?
I hope so. I really hope so. What's left, Gazlo?
I know. How many heroes are left that they could pull out at this point? What a ridiculous strategy, but they absolutely played it so well. Fantastic. Kudos to Cloud9 for bringing something so crazy to the absolutely most important game that this team has ever played in Heroes of the Storm.
All right, guys, I want to know what you think. Cloud9 winning there, going to the grand final. Let's make some noise! And the house is almost brought down. We got a full crowd right here. Oh, God. Cloud9 versus Team Dignitas. Completely unexpected. We have with us here the final bracket. Let's see how it looks like. And we have also got Na'Vi going down to Team Dignitas. Huge props to that. As Kailari said, it's good revenge for Team Dignitas. They have proven for now they are the best in EU. And it doesn't matter what anybody else can say. Cloud9 winning Team DK, that is phenomenal. So right now we have NA versus EU again.
We do, and it keeps coming up.
The dream, absolutely. We know that this is the hugest rivalry we have thus far in Heroes of the Storm, and I couldn't be more elated to see these two teams absolutely deserving of this position to be in the finals of BlizzCon 2015.
All right, so we are now going to go to a little bit of a break, but before that, do check out BlizzCon.com for more information, and I do believe we got very good world-class commentators to talk about the NA-EU rivalry coming out real soon. We also got Anna on the sidelines for an interview.
Thank you, Babel. All right, guys, let's hear it. Choo-choo! I am here with Dunk Train. You guys have just secured your spot in the finals of the Heroes World Championship. How are you and your team feeling?
We're super, super elated to have been able to bring Murky to the game to make it to finals.
You took our hype meters and we went like this, boo. All of us just exploded. Even back to let's go back to the first game. You had Rexar. Tell us about choosing Rexar and why you picked that.
Well, we really respect DK's players in team fighting, so we wanted to try and fight them asymmetrically. So that's why we had to pull out some of the more unusual heroes that we figured they didn't have experience against.
Well, and then of course what we want to talk about is this team composition you had, not just Murky, but the whole composition. Tell us the thinking behind it.
Well, actually at the start of this patch, we kind of developed this composition to fight Tempo Storm, and at a certain point in scrims, they just started banning Murky every single game. So we realized it was probably the real deal, and we knew that DK would have no idea what was going on with our draft. Like when we early pick Abathur and Tassadar, they're like, what's going on? So we knew they had no experience with the composition, and it would be, solid.
Grubby and I were watching backstage and we got a little worried. We thought, okay, this composition, should they be more ahead in the early game? Are they worried now? And it didn't look like it. You weren't worried?
No, we weren't worried at all. We've played that comp and we know it's a late game beast. It's so hard to lose the game once you get post 16 or 20. So we knew that if you can stay even close to relatively even, one keep down is fine. You just need to make sure you get to the late game and you can actually bait them into your side of the map so you can get those really long drawn out rotational team fights to take advantage of your reviving characters and the base and such.
It was so much fun to watch, and we're really excited to see you now moving on to the finals. You'll be facing Dignitas. Are you surprised? Are you excited? How are you feeling about that matchup?
I was a little surprised to see Dignitas triumph over Na'Vi, to be honest, but I mean, they played well and they've been doing really well in scrims against us lately, so I think it'll be an excellent grand final.
I have to give you one chance to say something to your fans. There are so many signs out here that say Dunk Train and Cloud9. They've been cheering for you all day. Do you have words for them?
I just want to say thanks to everyone for supporting us and cheering. It's really great to have you all out here. I hope you're enjoying the show and look forward to more from us.
Thank you so much. Congratulations again. Guys, we will be right back, but first let's learn a little bit more about Cloud9's opponent, Team Dignitas.